So, have you ever felt like there's a hidden code to the universe? You know, it's some single, powerful idea that connects things that seem totally unrelated? Well, today, we are pulling back the curtain on that very secret.
Our journey is going to start with a little bit of a riddle. First up, I want you to picture an ancient Sufi mystic, someone lost in meditation, trying to find perfect balance in the inner world of the soul.
Okay, next, picture something completely different, a mathematical fractal. Think of the Mandelbrot set, unfolding with just mind-boggling detail right on that razor-thin edge between pure order and total chaos. And for the last piece of our puzzle, think about a video game hero. Someone who is literally fighting to bring balance back to a world that's been torn apart by corruption and power. So you've got a mystic, a fractal, and a hero.
It sounds crazy, right? What in the world could possibly link these three? What is that invisible thread that ties them all together?
Well, the answer is this one, incredibly powerful concept, Mizan. It's an Arabic word, and it simply means balance. But listen, this is not some boring, static, perfectly still kind of balance. No. It's a dynamic, creative, living equilibrium that, as we're about to see, is woven into the very fabric of reality.
All right, so let's start where our riddle began, inside the human soul. Because for the Sufis, Mizan isn't just some philosophical idea, it's a deep, personal, spiritual practice.
And what's so fascinating is how they think about it. For them, Mizan is an inner spiritual faculty. That's key. It's not something you go out and find in the world. It's more like a spiritual muscle inside you that you have to train, that you have to cultivate. It's the art of holding your own heart in perfect equilibrium.
And this is the roadmap for how you do it. The journey of the soul, what they call the Nafs, is like climbing a ladder. You start at the bottom, where you're just driven by your basest desires, and you climb up through self-blame, through inspiration, until you reach a state of pure tranquility and then finally perfection. Every single step is a recalibration, a fine-tuning of your inner Mizan.
Okay, I want you to hold on to that idea of inner balance, because now we're going to zoom way out. We're going from the microcosm of your soul to the macrocosm of the entire universe. And you're going to see how this exact same principle is literally hard-coded into the laws of mathematics. So here's the kicker. Life, and I mean everything, creativity, complexity, beauty, it doesn't exist in perfect order. That's static. It's dead, like a crystal. And it doesn't exist in total chaos either. That's just random noise, also dead. Life happens right on the razor's edge between the two. That dynamic, fertile boundary, that's the mathematical Mizan. And this is just the perfect picture of it. The Mandelbrot set is probably the most famous fractal. Now, the areas deep inside it or way outside it are actually pretty simple. But the boundary, that line between them, it is a place of infinite, absolutely breathtaking complexity and beauty. It is a photograph of miasma, that perfect creative space between stability and total collapse.
And get this, it's not just some pretty mathematical idea. It is a physical constant of the universe. This number, the Feigenbaum constant, shows up everywhere, in all kinds of systems as they transition from order to chaos. We're talking fluid dynamics, animal populations, you name it. It's proof that this path of balance, this Mizan, is a universal law.
So we've got the mystics and the mathematicians, both climbing the same mountain from different sides and meeting at the top. But what is truly mind-blowing is that they weren't the only ones. Cultures all across human history discovered this exact same principle. They just gave it different names.
In ancient Egypt, they called it Mayat. This was the cosmic force of truth, justice, and order. You've probably seen the images from the afterlife where they weigh your heart against the feather of Mayat. If your heart was heavy, you failed. It was the ultimate test of a balanced life.
Over in India, you've got karma. Think of it as a universal law of cause and effect. It's like a giant cosmic accounting system where every single action creates a reaction, making sure that in the long run, the universe always balances its own books. And in China, of course, there's the yin-yang. I mean, this symbol is Mizan. It's not about light defeating dark or one side winning. It's about the beautiful, flowing, constant dance between two opposite but totally complementary forces that together create a harmonious whole.
The ancient Greeks, always the philosophers, they looked for it in ethics. Aristotle's famous golden mean says that virtue is the perfect balance point between two extremes. For instance, courage isn't the opposite of cowardice. It's the golden mean, that sweet spot right between cowardice and recklessness.
And in Buddhism, the entire path to enlightenment is literally called the middle way. It's all about finding a path that avoids the extreme of just indulging all your senses, but also avoids the other extreme of punishing your body. Nirvana, enlightenment, is found in that perfect balance.
Mat, karma, yin-yang, the golden mean, the middle way. They're all just different words for Mizan. So we've seen this principle in the soul, we've seen it in the cosmos, and we've seen it all throughout human history. So what about us? How do we take this grand universal secret and actually apply it to our own lives?
Well, here's a really great practical way to think about it. Imagine your life is a wheel, and it has these 8 crucial spokes. Now, for that wheel to roll smoothly, each one of these areas needs at least some of your attention. If one area is totally flat, say your health, or another is way overinflated, maybe your career, well, the whole ride is going to get pretty bumpy.
So this is a perfect moment to just pause. Take a second and look at this chart. On a scale of 1 to 10, just give a gut feeling score. How satisfied are you in each of these areas of your life? Be honest. The goal here isn't to get a perfect 10 across the board. It's just to see where your life might be a little out of Mizan and where a little bit of focus could make the biggest difference.
And that really brings us to the heart of it all. This quote. It just says everything we've talked about today. Mizan, true balance, isn't about getting rid of stress or challenge or the negative things in life. It's about integrating them. It's about seeing that the light needs the dark to exist. It's all a perfect dance.
So, from the soul of a mystic to the edge of chaos, from ancient Egypt right down to your day-to-day life, this one principle holds true. And so the real question this whole journey leaves us with is a personal one. When you look at your own universe, your own inner and outer worlds, where will you find your Mizan?